I think one of the things that I really had to unlearn as an adult is like unlearning hyper-discipline. It's gotten me a lot of places, and I'm really thankful for that quality. I think that it started to like affect what I was creating in like a bad way. Like I'd be so hard on myself. I still am pretty hard on myself when it comes to a lot. I think it comes from like growing up, like when we first came to Canada, we didn't have anything when I was a kid.
Juliet Amara, do you ever feel like acting has made you too good at performing off camera and that you've learned to hide even from yourself?
This is a good question. I think that I haven't learned how to hide from myself because of acting, but it does, I think, lend itself to like you can perform on camera or off camera. I think part of like my journey recently has been trying to not perform in any aspect of my life where I can bear it. I feel like as I'm growing older, I feel a discomfort in any time that I feel like I have to perform outside of when I'm being paid.
Was there a time in your life where you did feel like you were performing, whether it was on social media or in real life?
Yes, and I think it would be times that I'd feel really nervous. Like the thing that comes to mind is sometimes when I was being like interviewed for the first times in my life, after like maybe long days, or I specifically recall like interviews happening at South by Southwest for like premieres of stuff,
Mhm.
being super tired, but feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to like promote this show or I have to like be on even though I'm like tired right now and all I want to do is like sleep.
I also think you just get more used to being on camera, more used to being on interviews. I just shot a commercial and I saw myself on camera. Like it's so different when you see yourself on camera versus like selfie or like a mirror. I'm like, oh my God, you're fat and ugly. Like, I know I'm not, but just the way that the camera reads, like, and different styles of camera too, like, this was all shot on 16 millimeter. It just is so interesting how it reads. And so I'm curious to know your experience.
First of all, like I totally relate to exactly what
Yeah.
you're saying. Like there's like the knowing of like what your idea like of like what you look like is, and then seeing yourself on camera, like you're seeing yourself from like an angle or a viewpoint that like maybe I mean you have literally never seen yourself before, like in that way or perceived yourself in that way. It's easier for me to see myself as someone else when I'm watching it on a screen. So for example, like as an actor, it's easy to watch myself playing a role
Right.
because I'm not judging myself as me.
I'm like always playing myself and so then it's like maybe an extra layer of judgment. I'm not able to like let it go as much.
Yeah. It's harder to like it's hard to watch myself in interviews. I'm
Mm,
like, oh,
yeah.
like I'm watching myself even in like what I might consider like a bad performance or a performance I'm not happy with. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Like I can let it go.
Interesting. We're so much more judgmental of ourselves and who we are over like our work. I mean, I think that's a good thing though. Sometimes obviously, my work has been wrapped up in my self-worth for so long. So it might be better that I'm judging myself the way I like superficial things that I can change rather than the things that I can't. But
Yeah.
anyway, I want to ask you also like when was the first time that you realized your face or your energy, your talent had market value?
I think it was probably when I was a kid. Probably when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Um, I would watch like Disney Channel and I'd watch Lizzie McGuire to myself, like, huh, like I feel like I could do that. Didn't have any training to be able to do that, but had like, I don't know, like this weird like sense of, I don't know, I guess like as a kid too, like
Also,
I
like
really,
you weren't aware of all the boundaries and the limitations that Hollywood has. So you were like, I can do that, which is the truth. And it's hard to spin that out when you're an adult.
yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And I think it always came from like that like childlike wonder place of feeling like, oh my gosh, like these people like they look like they live like such like glamorous lives, like just doing this thing, which is like playing pretend on camera. I love playing pretend. I feel like that would be so fun. I feel like I could do that. But I think like the first time that I like really, 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 really realized it, like when it mattered in adulthood, I guess, I would get money prizes for winning dance competitions or certain dance festivals. And that's when I realized like, oh, like my talent, um, which was primarily dance at the time that I was aware of, can make money. And this is like a cool or like difficult thing for people to do. So
Always
I
been
must have,
a little more like talent over beauty, you feel like for you?
yes, 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 yes.
Because you are so beautiful, but it's good that you were shown that your talent, is really is what the thing you're being paid for over your looks. Feel like is the difference between authenticity and presentation to you, or are they the same thing?
I don't think they're the same thing at all for the same reason that I told you, like when I would do interviews and be super, super nervous, I would have to present a certain way. Authenticity would, I think to be authentic in any given moment, you would have to be fully in your body, in yourself, in exactly what you're feeling in that moment in time. And I think sometimes that can be really ugly, emotionally, mentally, physically. I think that can be really, I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be fully in body and in yourself and fully in the place that you are in that moment. But sometimes you could be like feeling terrible, in a bad mood because of something or extraneous circumstances, or you might not be necessarily like put together, but sometimes like you when you're performing, there's like a set of rules almost behind it. Sometimes, like, at least for me, it feels like there can be. Or sometimes those are placed upon you by other people.
I do think like Hollywood, especially acting, they do have there it's not even just like a metaphorical set of rules. There are sets of rules and more poignant or more like front forward is the director and all these egos that you're also dealing with. Um, and do you ever when are you the type of actress that you will really give your opinion on a character and be pretty pushy about changing it, or you do you kind of like to be a doll and just like move me anywhere, tell me whatever I want to do or whatever you want me to do?
It really depends. Like there have been times where I really gave like a big part of like my opinion on the character. I think that's for whenever I do like larger roles.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of times I end up getting hired in general for like roles where they have taken something about me that they saw as like an individual outside of the character that they kind of liked, and they're like, can you like put a little bit of that here, or I like this about you, can you add it to this? So maybe there wasn't a fully fledged character, or maybe I've made them change their mind about what they thought they wanted in a character.
Are you ever like pushy or like willing
Hmm.
to willing to lose it because of your opinion, or are you kind of at a certain point like, okay, I'm picking my battles, I trust you?
Yeah, yeah. No, I like let the director, I think, just
It's good
what
to
it is.
work with, but I have a friend that's like such an artiste and he's like, no, it has to be this. And I'm like, maybe like I don't want you you got into an ego battle here. Like maybe be a little easier to work with. But at the same time, I respect that he cares so much, and I'm sure the directors do too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has like such a different personality, especially like in Hollywood. Yeah, but I would say I never really get into it.
When you watch yourself on screen, are you able to see the art? I think you already sort of answered this and you said that you could kind of drop in, but do you see the art or do you see like Juliet performing?
Yeah, I think I see the art, but there are sometimes, actually most times I will say, I do a by myself pass through of like the thing that has come out where I watch it by myself. So I
Mm,
can get like past it being me on the screen.
yeah.
And then like at any screening or with anybody else, then I'm able to see the whole picture and the art of it. But I have to do that like kind of jump scare
Yeah.
myself. Ugh.
Yeah. How did your upbringing, culture, I know because of the fact that we're friends that your parents are immigrants, right? Um, and you are an immigrant as well, right?
Yeah, I was a refugee. Yeah.
Wow. How did your culture and upbringing raise you in terms of thinking about money, capitalism, commodification, thing you had to unlearn from your parents?
So, growing up a refugee kid with parents who came to Canada from, countries that are more unsafe. I was born in Russia. My mom's from Russia and my dad is from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Um, there's a big war obviously happening at the time in Sierra Leone, a civil war. And then there is a war in Russia. you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I learned from my parents that I had to have a job where I could make good money. It's kind of the classic like immigrant mentality. Like you should maybe be a doctor or but you should like definitely do good in school, kind of regardless of what you want to do, and then you should pick something that's like very stable. But then I had this like random talent as a kid of being able to dance really, really well. And I think that kind of changed a lot outcome. But I think one of the things that I really had to unlearn as an adult is like unlearning hyper discipline because I've always been extremely, 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 extremely disciplined, which is something that I learned from my parents. It was the way that I was raised, and it's gotten me a lot of places, and I'm really thankful for that quality. I think that it started to like affect what I was creating in like a bad way. Like I'd be so, so hard on myself. I still am pretty hard on myself when it comes to a lot. I get really easily stressed out by things to do with money, which is really funny. I think it comes from like growing up, like when we first came to Canada, we didn't have anything when I was a kid. And my parents worked really hard, but like it was kind of scary, I guess, to be in that situation, which is like such a different situation than what my brother or sister kind of saw growing up because my parents were more able to like develop themselves over time, etc. Like, as people do and as people need time to do. But for me, I'm the eldest daughter of an immigrant family. Oh yeah. So I had like a lot put on me, which I'm really grateful for because it really prepared me for Hollywood, to be honest. My team, my manager was just in town because she had a client on another project around here, Little House on the Prairie, and we all met for dinner. And she was always saying, she was like, Julia, I'm never ever worried about you. You have such a good head on your shoulders. You're always so, so organized. Like, I never have to chase you down for your auditions. I never have to anything. Like, you're always on top of it. And I'm like, are there people who aren't? Like, I can't believe it. Also, I always have felt, because I'm also a Black woman. I mean, just to be like honest, like it's been ingrained in me that I felt like I like can't not be on top of it because I could be dropped like this and replaced with someone.
Mm.
Um, which is real. I hate to be like, oh, like, but like, yeah, that's like a real thing within my body that I've always felt.
Replaced just as an actor or as like the token Black woman that you can be replaced?
I don't even know how to answer that because it's just this like strange feeling of like, and it might not even be true, but like I have to prove myself. I have to prove that I'm reliable, dependable, and can show up just because of like the way the world is. Like, I'm easy to work with. You don't have to, that's
Right.
kind of how I've needed to be
Yeah,
when
I think
commodified.
it's an interesting fact that like my other actor friend is a white man and he does not feel fear to speak up.
Um,
And when he tells me that, I'm like, maybe don't like because even just as a woman, not even a Black woman, I'm
yeah,
like, you know, like no, make yourself smaller, easy to work with, easy, easy, easy. So I
yeah,
think that is definitely a factor, and also I don't think that there is a way to for sure know the answer because we're never going to be in those meetings, those executive meetings. Well, maybe I will one day. I have been in some, and it's like, "Ugh, you guys are fucking idiots and racist and insane. But it's like, um, yeah, we'll never know how they're speaking about, especially minorities. Like, oh, we can just get another minority or whatever, and then it's all good, and that is real and scary and strange, paranoid.
yeah.
I also don't know if we'll ever know if that is what the answer is.
Who knows? But, I've always like the thing for me is like I've always felt like, well, I don't really care as long as I get my money.
Mm.
So I'm willing to play. Like if someone's going to play with me, I'm willing to play back as long as I get the check into my account.
On set, has there any been been any like charged moments with hairdressers or directors?
For sure. So I think like when it does bother me is when like I show up to a space when with like other professionals who are like trained in their field and yet they haven't been trained with what to do with my hair. Because then I'm just like, okay, I've showed up here skilled at what I do. We're all being paid what we are to be able to do what we do, and yet there's something you actually don't know how to do. I don't know why you have this job. That is the reason why it upsets me. Is because it's like, well, why am I doing your job if I'm not being paid to do your job? I think it like I think I have managed to like break this down to just like such like a the job
Yeah,
that we're doing. It's like I don't take it personal anymore. There was a time where I used to, and now I realize, oh, it's not personal. It's just that some people literally can't do their job.
literally. Yeah, I think that's a really great mindset. I'm glad I asked you about that because that
Mhm.
I feel I think about things like that too, but I'm not black, so I'll never know. And so it's interesting and I'm glad I asked you about your perspective. You ever feel like your body isn't yours, like, and it has just become a part of the job?
I felt that way when I was dancing sometimes.
Mhm.
It got to a point in my dance career when I felt that way. I haven't felt that way on set acting though. I feel like I reclaimed a lot of power back when I became an actress
Mhm.
and kind of when I moved on from having like a full-on dance career. I felt like more of a meat puppet when I was dancing, which is like dance is my first love, but it's a really hard professional career to um to do in terms of like your emotional relationship to your body and feeling like your body is yours or not yours. It's yours, but you're sharing it, but it has to look a certain way. There's just all of these requirements of it. If you can't naturally have it be like what they need it to be, then it requires a lot of you to be able to maintain that. That's like really, for me, it was like really heartbreaking and like demanding and mentally broke me, honestly, in a big way at the time. Like killed my spirit, honestly. I don't feel that way anymore as an actor because I feel like no one has ever critiqued like my body's like natural set point in this career. I think I'm really lucky for that though, because I do think also, I will be honest and say like I think I do think I am like a beautiful person and I do think I have like a nice body by like the standards of like the patriarchy or whatever. So I also like don't think I don't know if for me to say that it's if for me to say that's not like groundbreaking. I wasn't naturally like the ballerina body type when I was in like a contemporary ballet dance company.
Acting
So it was
is
hard.
definitely, especially in this modern age, it's like, you can be short, you can be, gain a
Yes.
few pounds, and there's not as many limitations and rules and standards like for modeling or dancing for sure.
Like in acting, like the men tend to be shorter, so they like that I'm a short girl. Like they like that I'm like 5'2". Like they don't mind that. Like I play a lot of younger characters. It like works
Mhm.
naturally well, I
Mhm.
guess.
In the context of like the body of a black woman though, have you ever felt that um that walks into the room before you do?
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to say anything more. Yep.
I think I know like exactly what about myself like walks into the room before I do. And I think that's all part of also like I like the what my friend Maddie calls the joke.
Hmm. Yeah. Has Hollywood made you hyper aware of your visibility? Have you ever felt like, they're casting you as the token minority and therefore you feel like, well, I want to be cast though as with my skill over my blackness. Do you ever feel that, or again, is it kind of like, I don't really care if I am the token Black woman because I'm getting paid?
My opinion on like all of that has shifted so much.
Yeah.
I think I started out in the industry like as like a token. Fine with that because I was like, cool. Hell yeah. Like I was booking a lot of roles that were like very, very similar to like where I was at personally at that point. Like this was this was like my lesbian like well, it wasn't my Black era because I'm always gonna be Black, but it was like my Black lesbian like era. Um and like I was booking roles that were all like very like Juliet adjacent, being tokenized. Yeah. And then after like probably like 2 years of that, I was like, but I was also like, I'm getting paid and I'm doing what I love. And I feel like I'll be able to outgrow this. Like I always just had the feeling like I'll be able to outgrow this. This is where I'm starting. This is how I'm starting. I'm grateful for it. And I did and I have. But I also do still get like a lot of like roles that maybe feel tokeny, I guess. I've gotten a lot of like, oh, like Black best friend role or like best friend who's Black. Like in projects where it's like, you know, I had the skill set and like everything within me to be able to lead, but like it was just like a white lead film. Like there's just like some like movies and projects where it's just like white lead and then like diverse cast. It's such a popular thing. Like, this really funny meme actually about being like number 3 on the call sheet that I saw Chloe Cherry post on her Instagram like a few years ago. And at the time, I was in a project where I was number 3 on the call sheet and like had been all year in every single project that I did. And I was just like, yep, number 3 on the call sheet. But I think like a lot of performers feel that way as people of color. It's just the way I think the industry hires a lot of the time. Like,
What does softness look like for you in an industry that often asks Black women to be strong and fierce and resilient?
okay, this is a really good question. The softness exists within like my real life. I've had to be so like kind of a little on guard during like industry moments and jobs and things like that. And in this career, it's just so cutthroat that you just have to have like a backbone. I really, really, really try and make sure like my life, like as Juliet Amar, like my day-to-day life, like my every moment is just like soft. My relationship,
Yeah.
um, my home, like I'm like looking at my cat right now and she's just like curled up like a little shrimp with her little feet. And like that's exactly how I like to feel every day. So when I'm not on set or when I'm between filming, like I just try to make sure that I have like peace and calm. That's why I moved to the prairies. Like it's just I think so important to be gentle with myself and it's something that I'm really learning as I get older too. This industry is really, 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 really hard, but it is also kind of like it doesn't matter. Like it does and it's important and get your money, but also like have fun with it. Play if someone plays with you, play back.
I mean, it's the secret to life too, is not taking anything so seriously. And I think in moments of our friendship and working relationship, I think you have seemed to have taken things more seriously than they are in a good thing. That
Yeah.
you care though, you know, but even in really raw, vulnerable, hard times in your life that I've seen, you still are very soft. And I think if you had seen me in a vulnerable, you know, you're very soft and sweet and like surrendery. And I think if you had seen me in my, it was like gripping with reality. It was like hard, like, no, 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 this doesn't make sense. Like, you know, not that I've ever, you know, fought with anyone or anything, but it's more just like I have like a more cold exterior or like harsh way towards life than you ever have, and it's always something that I've really admired in you, and you still remind me of like my college best friend who is the same way, like very, very sweet and soft and like,
Mm.
never really not a huge resistor of anything, of anyone or any, very empathetic and just I mean, being nice and sweet goes a long, long way. Even today, even in a cutthroat industry like Hollywood, I think I'm so glad that it's sort of shifting more in that way and kind of not the Ari Gold type entourage, like fuck you on the phone. I think teams and talent that are really sweet and easy to work with, genuinely, not even like performatively, are the ones that are going to have a much more sustainable career. So I've always admired that about you.
So too, and I think it's interesting you say that about like yourself that you think, I mean, I'm sure in those really hard moments, like it really felt like you were like this too, but I also feel about you like you are also
Sweet.
soft with it. Like
Yeah.
you're very chill. You might be one of the chillest people I have ever like conversed with. Like I see you as like someone in my mind who is like just really just like okay, like really sound. I think you're incredibly sound. And even girls who are sound like have times where we're like unsound.
I think people like when they meet me, they're like, wow, you're so nice. You're so much nicer than I thought and more bubbly and joyful and um yeah, soft and a sweetie, like a softie. But on my Instagram or whatever, I think I can be a little like, more intimidating.
What it is though, it's just like the Soviet face. Like it's just like you're like that's all it is. It's it's like your Russian like
The
little
cold
face.
Russian gaze, exactly.
Yeah, it's like the little pout.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
it's the sharp features. It's like, oh my god, she's a fucking bitch. And I can be, but I really, especially with work, I would never be like rude to a brand or sassy. Like I'm really sweet, I think. I'm really sweet. Okay, I don't beat myself up anymore. Okay. So when do you feel most private? Has fame or the proximity to fame affected your sense of intimacy?
Actually just found out exactly when I do, like 2 days ago. When I'm like sitting down beneath this chair and like my boyfriend is sitting on this chair and he is oiling my roots of my scalp. I did it for the first time ever a few days ago. And like I wanted to almost like I could cry right now. I wanted to almost cry like a baby. I just felt so like taken care of and so like seen, and even like the way he would like move like a single hair to get to the other one is just like so careful, and then my little head massage, it was just so grounding and like brought me to reality. He brings out the softness in me so much, like him, and I feel the most private too like when I'm with my family, like they know me, like they know like Juliet.
What is the most personal thing that you've ever monetized? Did it feel powerful or invasive or and icky afterward?
Interestingly enough, this is like something I'm like dealing with like right now. I'm like the most personal thing I've ever monetized, oddly enough, is like any form of selling myself when it's like me on camera, but like as me trying to like sell someone on something. Oh, it feels so gross and so weird. Like I grapple with wanting to like delete TikTok like all the time. I have 2 TikTok accounts. I There is something so weird to me as I get older and as I like go through this part of my life with like selling my like unless it's something that I'm like absolutely like in love with, like that I would like share with a friend. But even then, it's like
And
it's really
products or selling any version of yourself feels wrong. And in my course, I talk a lot actually about like I'm like, that is actually, if you can get past that weird capitalist guilt, weird feeling, um, it's actually, if you think about it, when you go on like press tours and interviews for movies, you're selling someone else, though. You're selling someone else's dream. So why not sell your own? But it's hard. It's very hard and embarrassing and strange.
Yeah, and it's hard and it's weird only for me though. It's only when it's like a moving video. When it's a picture, when it's like a
Hmm.
Substack post, I have no problem with that. But if it's like me like having to be like
Oh, selling products is hard.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
When it's like but again, if it's like a photo and it's incorporated into my life, but there's just something about convincing someone with my voice because I feel like sometimes it's like it's just hard for me. It's a
Like,
hard thing for
it
me.
is like, it's a little bit like, yeah, Truman Show, like eerie. And it's hard to convey that as natural to the world if it doesn't feel natural to yourself, because it's not a natural thing. We're supposed to be out hunting and gathering berries and stuff, and like I'm supposed to be selling a damn leave-in conditioner, but where we at?
Well, strange thing to me too, because it's like if it was like someone like hiring me, booking me for a commercial, this is what you're gonna get paid. You're gonna come to set, we're gonna film it, and you do it. That feels so much easier, like modeling for someone else's. But to be like, hi, like to like create it myself and like try to, I struggle with that on video, specifically on TikTok.
What about like, I would argue, even if you don't have a product, like just posting on social media just to post is still self-promoting or self-selling, commodifying oneself. Does that ever feel weird or performative? No, that feels good. Yeah. Okay.
Or when I'm just like sharing like a random thought or opinion, that doesn't feel weird at all. I think it's like somebody else's product where I know like they don't care if I live or die. That feels weird to me.
But if you think about like a movie or a film or a TV show as a product, which it is, would it feel the same way if you were like, they required you to go on Instagram live and be like, "Hey guys, like watch my new film or watch my new," like does that feel weird? Does that feel similar, or are you able to kind of?
Well, because I would have because I love acting, so it's like I would be selling something that had I enjoyed making so much being a part of. I think for me it comes down to this is what it is. It comes down to do I care or if I feel like huh, like I believe in this. I think that's also it. I feel like it comes down to if I believe in it, then it doesn't feel icky. If
Even working
someone's
with you, when we had a brand approach you, you were like, "I wanna try it first. I genuinely wanna try it first and see if it actually does work on my hair." And so I really admired that about you.
still like their products, I do really like them, and if
Yeah,
they were to approach me again, I'd be like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah. So encourage that too, like, just to my clients and in my course, like, post things, and I think we implemented this too, and you were super open, and that's the best people to work with, that are, like, just very open and not resistant towards me, but, um, I think I encourage people to buy products, even if you're not getting them, sent to you for free in PR, and post and tag them for free. And just as almost just as a case study, so then you can connect with the brand and be like, my post did so well for you guys. Like, if you ever wanted to partner, let me know, like in an official way. But I think that's hopefully the future of like authentic selling, because you're genuinely like loving the product and use it and are a fan of the brand. Do you feel like there's a way to build a career while in this hyper visible social media era, while remaining mysterious?
I think there really is a way to build a career while remaining mysterious. I think specifically if, like, I can talk about, like, it from, like, being an actor standpoint, like, yes, I think a lot of times it helps and people wanna attach people who, like, they've heard of, or even off of social media, like, someone like an Addison Rae or something like that. It's a good way to do it while being somewhat mysterious. I mean, look at, like, Lexi Smith, who, like, is the blueprint of, like, Addison. I mean, Addison is Lexi. That's Lexi. A lot of talent to back it, and I think is that if you wanna I think if you have a lot of talent to back what it is that you're doing, say if you're trying to be an actor or a dancer or a creative director. I think that talent, when like, as long as you're like using it, making stuff, creating, I think it does push you a lot farther than necessarily visibility without those skills to necessarily back it up.
That's actually a really good example though, because it's like Lexi not necessarily cashing in the way that Addison is. And Lexi is much more mysterious than Addison ever has been. I mean, Addison is definitely trying to be, but um I think that's an interesting example. And it's like, yeah, maybe Addison will never have the ultimate cool factor that Lexi is, but she has to sacrifice some of the mystery for money.
I think that's a sacrifice that some people, can choose to make, or maybe they don't even have time to think about it. But, I do think Lexi, even though she's so visible right now, I think one thing that's really important once you reach a certain level is some sense of privacy. Having that, I think that is the biggest form of wealth, I think, is like being able to have some sense of privacy, because like I don't, again, this is also someone I don't know personally, but I think about what it would what it would be like to be someone like Taylor Swift. You're in danger 24/7. That sucks.
You can even fall in love with a random person and go on a date with them, like in public.
You, oh no,
You can't do anything wrong ever in public.
you cannot go to like a small town and take a walk down the street. That to me, like, from knowing so many people in like the spotlight in various stages, like, that sucks. I think there really is like a fine balance of like, what is it that you really want at the end of things? Like, what kind of life do you really want? Because sometimes when it gets so crazy, there is no turning back.
I mean, do you strive to, or do you think that you ever will be like, as famous as Timothy or as like recognized? Like, do you want that? I mean, you just kind of answered it like you don't, you definitely like that very much value your privacy, but what if it happens? What if you do star in a movie that blows up and wins an Oscar? Like, do you
Yeah.
hope for that? Do you think you'll be able to handle that fame or
And I have been recognized multiple times, which is interesting. Uh, because I've not necessarily like blown up like anyone like a Timothy, or been in like such like an something with Oscar buzz or anything like that yet in my career. I think yes, I think I will, but I think that there is a way that like I'm climbing that is could all change in terms of how this industry is, but I think there's a lot of really, really, really like talented actors with Oscars and with Tony Awards. On my like home decor account on TikTok, I have a home decor account just for fun, just for me. And I've gotten recognized in this city. Like, oh, I saw your TikToks today. Like, I was sitting in my friend's store just the other day with my boyfriend, and this girl walks in. She goes, I was just watching you on TikTok this morning. And I was like,
weird?
and I'm actually going through this weird crisis right now where I'm like, oh my God, like maybe I don't want to like be saying that on TikTok, because I think what it is ultimately, and I was trying to think about it today, and maybe you can actually help me.
Yeah.
I would rather be recognized for a film that I'm in than for like, I saw what you did in your house
Mhm.
on your TikTok page, what you added to your dining room. That feels weird for me. It doesn't feel weird when someone is like, "Oh my God, like I saw you on Irish Blood," or like I saw the Big Door Prize, or oh, you have this movie coming out with like this and this comedian. Like that doesn't feel weird to me, but it does feel weird.
I mean, I usually work with people that their main income is from their own audience and from their social media. So my
Mhm.
mindset is always, how can we commodify you? How can we sell parts of you? But
Right.
meeting actors more recently and helping musicians and things like that, way more recently is it's changing my mindset a little bit in terms of like, it's just a matter of you want to be recognized for your art and your not commodifying Juliet necessarily, and nor do you want to. You're commodifying your talent. I think it is, even though it is channeled through the self, I think it would feel better if, you were deriving all your money from your audience, and that was what was, making getting the food on the table. Recognizing someone, like, for being a doctor, like, thank you for all your hard work, like, you really helped me. So if somebody's recognizing you for something that you don't really necessarily want to be making money from or working at, it's like, okay, that kind of feels like a weird peek into my private life. But if somebody is recognizing the art that you want to be selling, then it feels good. I'm writing a feature, and I've been, like, kind of getting close to some actors that I want to be a part of it. I'm always like, he's like showed me his photography, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, let's put on a gallery, like, let's put on a book, like, let's come on. And he's like, nah, like, I'm good. And I'm never going to quiet that side of me, because that's just like what comes out. And this is what I get paid for. Not even that he's like a proud, like precious artist. I've come to realize, like, it's just similarly to you, like, you both are so talented that it's just a matter of time until you do make it, whatever that means. It really is just a matter of time. I'm glad that me and him are friends, and that me and you are friends, because, artists don't necessarily think about selling out or commodifying oneself at all times of the day like I do. But it's a good mix, a balance, and I'm learning how to just let the art just be there and not be self-promoting all the time. And I think that that's beautiful too. And I think learning from him is just like, you can be mysterious and still make money, and as long as, like you said, there is a talent backing it up. Like, I think there's, like, the indie sleaze girls online that are, like, so ambiguous, and they are kind of like Lexi, but they don't have, like, the talent, the actual day job that they could go back and do. It's just like, wait, what is this? And um so I think that's important to just, even if you never share with the internet that you're actually a really good coder or a really good choreographer or a really good director, and you're just maintaining, like, you're just being that mysterious it girl online, like, but you have these other skills. It's just gonna bring such a peace of mind.
Interesting because when I was working with you, like, and you were doing the branding and you were doing all these things, it felt better for me because it was easier to have you think about me
Yes.
in terms of like commodifying me than it is for like me to think about me in terms of commodifying me, because it does drive me a little crazy. I mean, granted, I'm sure if I like listened to your course, it would feel a lot easier. But like I think it's just something like if I wanted to do that again, I would probably just like pay you to do it because like I like having that off of me. Like I just kind of want to do my auditions,
Yeah.
do those roles. And then like if it got to the point where say like I needed to commodify myself, I would like hire you or like go to the course or like know how to. But there's something where it does feel like kind of like I like a little bit of an air of mystery, or I like channeling my thoughts more through writing, which I need to write my Substack more. But
I think you don't have to, you don't ever have to commodify yourself if you don't want to. You already are by acting. Everyone does in a capitalistic society, or they should, or they have to, unless they're, everyone is capitalizing upon themselves in some way, most likely. So
Mhm.
you already are. And I do think it's like an outside perspective. And it's just a matter of if you want it or not. It's like, do you want me to tell you what you should do? Do you want to know? Do you want to have these ideas? And but if not, that's fine too. So I'm glad that you're kind of like in an era where you're like, no, I'm down with being mysterious, and I just need a little bit of more breathing room, and there's no pressure to ever even do it, and I'm really glad that that is the way you're feeling. Do you feel like there's a secret, Juliet, that I'm not experiencing right now, or I mean, the world is not experiencing?
I feel like there are so many like aspects to me that like there was like no need to access through this interview, if like that makes sense. Like I feel like naturally, like to the people in my life, they're always like, "You are so, 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 so funny." Like, like nobody knows, like online, like how funny you are. And I'm like, well, like I don't know, I wasn't put in a situation where like I had the opportunity to like,
So hard to show comedic talent online, especially when you're not just a comedian, because then it's like literally listen to my jokes, but like I think both of us are just naturally funny and it's like how would you ever know that? Like unless I was like on in a comedic way all the time, which I never am. You are funny and that is like something that I would say about like a lot of the porn stars and the mystery girls that I work with is like when somebody says like what don't the audience know about them. I'm like, how fucking funny they are, or smart, or married. They're all married. Um, they're all they're all husband up, and but it's like they're all very down to earth, but also just like hysterical, like so skillfully funny, and but they're kind of these mystery girls online. What do people, whether that's audience, real life, boyfriend, family, misunderstand about you?
I would probably say like, yeah, I would say my sense of humor online, only online. Like, I think some people who follow me, I would say specifically on Instagram, who have obviously many of them have never had a conversation with me in real life or like gotten the era of my essence other than through like Instagram photos. Like I'll make jokes on like my Instagram because now I do like the little like close friend like that I draw
Yeah.
like thing. Will like say things and like some people like just don't get it. Like they don't understand. Like they think I'm being like serious or like they think I'm being.
Right.
I feel like sometimes people are just like, oh, like no, she's just like kind of like like a hot online actor girl, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I mean, like, yeah, I
I'm
am,
so much
but
more than
but like no, like that, like that's there's so much more. But I don't know. I don't really. It's fine that they don't. Like I
yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Okay, thank you so much, Juliet. Anything else you want to add or promote or anything?
Oh, not really, no.
Love
I watch my
modification of self.
yeah, stop watching me, unfollow me. Like, I don't wanna be no, just kidding. I don't
No
know,
project.
watch my stuff if you want to. I think it's pretty good. I think it's fun. The people I work with are great, talented people. I was in a show called Irish Blood with Alicia Silverstone. We got renewed for a season 2. It's Irish, it's fun.
Platform is that on?
Acorn TV, so it's a British platform. So you'll have to look at your attachments or your extensions to Apple TV and Prime.
Okay, cool. Dude, Apple TV, I'm sorry, but they have the worst marketing. That's my other friend who's an actor has been on so many like leads and amazing stuff on Apple TV and I'm like, I never heard of it. What is
Oh
happening
yeah,
with their marketing? Like,
what's going on? They never fail to like. They always hire like the most talented people. They also hire a lot of people, like really talented people that no one's ever seen before. Um, like I'm kind of biased because like they gave me the most money of my life. I love them.
I love
But
Apple TV and it's cool, but it's also like I wish I genuinely knew more about shows that my friends were in because like they're so
uh,
like I watched this one show on there called Tehran. Have you ever seen that?
never heard of it in my entire life.
Actually, dude, amazing. Like you should really watch that. But yeah, they have incredible shows and I love that. Like they kind of like what we were just talking about, like letting the art just speak for itself and stand there. But at the same time, it's like, guys, you have literally billions and trillions of dollars. Like give us a little something. And they did do one exhibit at the Central Station of Severance. That was an awesome campaign. More of that. Like I want to see more. I want so I can know about like Big Door. Like I only would have known about that from you and like with my friend as well. It's like I only know about that because you guys were in it. But like, oh,
Yeah, Apple's trying to be that like mysterious indie girl. You're a fucking nepo baby. Like, don't
literally,
pretend.
you're a Nepo baby. Fucking post yourself. Like,
Literally, I remember I posted something on TikTok and it got like I want to say close to like 500,000 views for this like one clip of me in the show. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, like thanks for doing that." I'm like, "Yeah, like I have like 2 followers." Like I'm like you're literally Apple. Can you like
yeah.
send this to people's phone? Like it was the most annoying thing ever, but whatever. I got paid. I'm pissed that we got canceled though, but oh
Yeah.
well, next,
The 2 seasons?
2 seasons.
That's good in
Short.
today's world. I mean, it really is. Like lack of budget just because of these damn streaming platforms. It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
rare to get even a second season. So it's a success. It is a success.
yeah. Maybe if only they had like advertised it once or twice somewhere, but yeah.
I think they're seeing it. I mean, they're seeing it with Severance, obviously. It's like, okay, like this is doing fucking really well, even without marketing. And then hopefully that campaign did well. And then they're like, let's do more for other shows. They need to hire
Yeah,
me.
yeah, they
Like,
do.
I'll go and live in Sweden so I'll funnel that money for them. Like, it's no problem. I'll watch the
Here's
money. All right. I love you so much. And I can't wait to let this out.